Hello everyone, I have a question for you. What do mozzarella, gouda, cheddar, brie, feta and emmental have in common? That's right, they're all cheese. Because today we're going to watch two games from cheese from the second North American qualifier when Luminosity Gaming made their way all the way into the top 2. For cheese it was the first time he made a top 4 and a top 2, as well as for Magic Bay who also made his first top 2. I've picked out game 1 and 3 against OG Esports, since that was a very dominant victory, but not as dominant against NRG, who they swept in an otherworldly fashion. One of the games even went to 7-2 for LG, and NRG just couldn't do anything against him, so that's why I picked OG, and also because Luminosity lost in the finals against G2, so I felt like this was a perfect series to watch because of that. They play very dominantly and they show what they're truly capable of, and they show that they can qualify for this major. In order to qualify for this major, they need a third or fourth placement in the third qualifier. Excuse me. If they want to do it by themselves, there are obviously other options to qualify if they don't want to do it by themselves, but obviously that's the safest option. But the reason why I picked Cheese to look at is because he had amazing stats this weekend and everyone was very fond of him, how he played, the fans, the team, literally everyone, the casters. He had the highest rating of the entire event with a rating of 1.368. He had the most goals of the entire event. He had the second most score. He had the highest shooting percentage. No, he had the third highest shooting percentage, excuse me, with a percentage of 38.10% of the entire event. And the team did also pretty well too. They had the highest shooting percentage, they had the most doubles per game, they had the most assists per game, and they had the most goals per game, which is surprisingly that they had the most goals per game, since G2 usually suffocates the team and you don't score against G2. That's also why they lost against G2 4-1. First goal is a good goal. And it's the reason why, Cheese is him. It was a simple goal for sure, but he did it all the way. And right here, again, he gets the second one for Luminosity, caused by a demo from one of his teammates. And look at him go. I feel like he flips way less than all of the other players. So in high level Rocket League, players flip less. The reason why is because when you flip, you gain speed, that's for sure, but you're locked in your motion, as well, kind of with the wave dash, but also with the wave dash you show that you have speed, that you are going to get speed, and boosting or not boosting without flipping or without wave dashing can get you more precise touches on the ball, and you can analyze the game way better. This is a good play from him, but he didn't notice that there was a second last defender, or in the back. Still a good play from him. Just look at him go. He's very decisive. He makes the right decisions over and over and over again. He rotates well. When he gets touches on the ball, they're, very thought out. Look at this one. The reason why he puts the left is sure because Nolly can get it, but Magic Burrow is actually going to be a bit closer to it. They end up winning the ball. And the communication from Luminosity is amazing as well. That's one of the reasons why they gone so far into the tournament. I feel like there are multiple occasions where you can see, look at this pass, look at the shot. That's a good placement. The placement was in the middle, which might not be immediately the best placement, but there were two defenders and he made them double commit, so that's a good shot. But as I was saying, the communication is very well within Luminosity, I feel like. Multiple times that a man behind goes for the ball and not the second man because he has a better shot. Not a lot of double commits, and defensively they're on their feet. They're working their asses off, and like here, this is a very tall out decision. He got demoed, but he slowed down because I assume rlcs called it. Hey, he slowed down, it's 2v1 situation, or what, just wait a little bit. But here it is 0 seconds and they're gonna win this. He's gonna kill it. Calm takes to the other side, but that doesn't really help, and it's to the floor. This victory was an extension of the win they had the day before. The hour before. I was gonna say the day before, but that's not true. They won against NRG 4-1, as I said, but they swept NRG, which is surprising. It was not surprising they were gonna win, per se, but it was surprising they got swept. Since Swiss-wise, they went 3-2 for the second time. Luminosity. It's difficult. It's your game is on the line. That game, fifth game of Swiss is stressful, and they made it out. Just as OG, but OG reverse Swissed it, losing 2 games first and then winning all 3 of them, which is good for them after a very devastating qualifier. Look at Chisco, and he has a very insane goal actually. When you think about it, a very good touch that leads to a goal in this game. Same scoreline, 2-1. But look at him go. He's constantly hunting for demos on the back line. He's done it multiple times in the first game too. This especially happens when Luminosity gets a breakaway, or just before a breakaway, and Cheese recognizes this, and he immediately goes for the third man demo so that the defense gets destabilized. Defensively wise, against G2, they got outscored. And there's this interesting tweet I saw about, look at him go. This is very smart from Cheese. He immediately goes up. He's very fast. He evades the man who's challenging him. And he gets it all done. Here, one of the few double commits you're ever gonna see in Luminosity. But as I was saying, against G2 they lost. They got outscored because defensively G2 is a powerhouse. They pre-jump everything. They're not afraid to do so because they can quickly recover as well. They have 3 mechanical merchants on the field, and that's why they're still so good, and that's why still no one has beat them. Some people call this the European way of defending. Other people call it this is now the meta. It was introduced by European teams, but these days you could say that whatever the European teams do is meta because they're so dominant nowadays. This touch very good, he gets Sec touch, but it gets to Magic Bear, definitely something he thought of. He gets demoed, but at the end it's fine. It's still calm you're playing against. Now Cheese, he's gonna go, gonna carry the ball. He's gonna wait because he knows he has time. Waiting for the second touch again. He has all of the actions thought out that could happen at any moment. That's why he's one of, and sure every pro player does that, but I feel like he's just a tad bit more speedy on every decision. Maybe he peaked this weekend, but I do think that is for the next qualifier, and hopefully their LAN this is going to extend. The highest rating in the game, you don't get the highest rating in the game without doing nothing, and this was a touch that I was going to talk about. He makes a very weird first touch, but that's because he knows that rlcs was gonna demo him, and the second touch is just like kind of a 50. He makes a very soft touch so that the defender has to kind of slow down to just like not be hasty, and he's just a tad bit too late. You know, that's, you know, and I feel like the European way of defending, namely pre-jumping, would have helped here. But you know, that touch, you know, he slows it kind of down to get a better 50, and it's a weird touch, that's for sure, but he got it in, and that's all that matters. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna wait here and just again to the middle, leave it for magic. And rlcs had a very good opportunity there to harass the opponents, and that's why I said Luminosity's game plan. They had a breakaway coming, and rlcs just demoed the back man again. But you know, just copy it. You know, that's a good play. That's a good choice from Luminosity. That's why I also think they're gonna really go far. The thought out touches, the slow down plays, the breakaway demos, or the third man demos, whatever you want to call him. But Cheese really plays a big part in this. He recognizes there's no one on defense. He gets for the pinch. Didn't work out. That's still a good opportunity. You know, he was, look at him. He was already switching the camera to look for a demo. You know, he is every time he's on his feet. I'd say thank you for watching. See y'all in the next video. I really hope Luminosity and Cheese qualify, and see you guys very, very soon. Later.